Hey, how are you doing? It is Precious Rutland, trichologist of Hair Health Happiness, Trichology and Wellness Clinic. And today I wanted to talk with you about self care for a caregiver. If you have to care for loved ones, because they're not able to tend to themselves. And this is a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and I haven't gotten around to it, but I felt that it was definitely needed at this time. And so I wanted to go ahead and just share some self care tips that you can use to take care of your body as you're going through a tough time, whether it be caring for a parent or your children or your spouse. But anyhow, whoever you're taking care of, you have to make sure that you're getting your self care in as well. And so, what I've noticed just from people that are caregivers is that a lot of them, after a while, they begin to have their own problems, and some of the problems end up being sleep deprivation, poor eating habits, failure to exercise, failure to stay in bed when they're ill, when they're not feeling well, and they're still trying to take care of others when they really need to be resting, or they even postpone their own um, medical appointments or physical exams. And caregiving can definitely put you on a big emotional roller coaster, especially if you've been taking care of that person for so long. Sometimes you can have scary moments. You don't know if they're gonna make it, or if their condition it just isn't getting any better. You don't know what to do. You're running out of resources. You may not have the help that you need, and that all plays a part on your physical body as well as emotionally. So it's really good that you get that under control and to manage it as best you can, because if not, you're draining your body, you're draining your adrenals, you're draining your heart. Like, again, your whole body as a whole is being impacted. And studies have shown that exhaustion, worry, inadequate resources, continuous care, demands being put on you, they causes a lot of stress. And studies show that an estimated of 46 to 59% of caregivers are clinically depressed, and that's not good. So we want to take preventative measures so you don't get to that point. So what I've done was I've come up with about five self-care, I guess I want to say tips, just to keep in your mind, so you can be able to make sure that you fill up your tank so your cup doesn't run empty, so you can continue to um, care and love on your loved one. So the first tip is, one, realize that self-care is your own responsibility. It's no one else's but yours. And one, your mind believes what you tell it. So you want to have a positive affirmation or mantra or something that brings you good vibe, good feeling, good energy. Because each time you get a negative thought, you want to be able to combat that with a positive word. So if you're a believer and you happen to read the Bible, most people use Bible scriptures to combat those negative thoughts. So that's one option. If you're really big into mantras, quotes, things of that nature, you just want to keep repeating those things. It'll help to liberate your mind, and just keep it from being so negative, being down on the situation. So as much life that you can pour into yourself, and do it internally and develop a habit, that is what you want to do. Tip number 2, you definitely want to exercise or do some sort of physical activity, even if it's just at minimum 15 minutes a day. I tell all my clients, I try to teach all of them, everyone can do some exercise. No, you don't have to be a big fitness person, but you just have to do some activity to keep your body moving, keep everything flowing. Our bodies love movement. That is what helps us to not be stagnant. When you get stagnant, you have improper digestion. You can't think. Your systems, your organs begin to get clogged. So you want to keep everything moving, even if it's just doing chores. You can do chores for probably about 5 or 10 minutes and be tired, vacuuming, cleaning, straightening it up. But it's some sort of activity, and that'll also help, to just renew your mind, because you're focusing and you're thinking on something else different. Exercise is very important because it helps, as well as with the cortisol that we need in our body. So it helps to regulate that, as far as we're not burning up all our cortisol on stress, and it'll be released at the time that we need it. Tip number 3, you want to reduce any personal unnecessary stress. So it's important that when you recognize that you're starting to be stressed, because you're taking care of a loved one, start figuring out, what can you do to minimize the stress on you. Anything that you may have had, as far as obligations, if you can let it go for a time being, then do that. So anything that's going to lessen the burdens on you, or make you feel weighed down, or make you feel like you're not giving it your all, it's okay. It's okay just to let it go. Circumstances have changed, and believe me, if it's meant for you to have, or meant for you to stay with that commitment, it'll come back around again, and you can have another chance to do what it is that you were wanting to do. Other things have taken place, our lives change, other things have taken place, and you just want to put everything in perspective. After all, nothing is promised, and your people are here today and they're gone tomorrow, so we can't take our lives for granted, and we can't take our loved ones' life for granted. So be sure to put things in perspective. Number 4, you want to put yourself on the calendar and don't cancel it. So, you take your loved one around to their appointments, and you're just as important as them. So when you have things planned, have it, stick to it, because then I'll give you a sense that you're still in control of your life. And if you have to, just take the time to ask someone to help you with your loved one, or to help you cover some of the needs. That way you can go do what you need to do, as far as filling your cup up. I remember, when my mom was in the hospital, and we wanted to just keep some family around there with her, and it was okay just to take shifts. It's like, you can call somebody up and say, hey, can you come over for a few hours? I need to go shower, XYZ, or I just need to get out for a little bit, get out, this place for a little bit, change up your environment, change up your scenery. And it's okay to do that, so give yourself permission to handle your emotions, because your emotions are telling us things. It's important to listen to our body, and just be still and get clarity on those. So it's okay. So definitely put yourself on the calendar, even if it's for an hour or 2 hours, whatever you need to do to deposit back into you, because you're giving, and who's pouring back into you. So that's one of the things that I myself am learning to do, and that is what I'm also teaching my clients, that as we give out, we have to make sure that we're putting back in and not depleting ourselves. And tip number 5, you want to make sure that you communicate. Definitely ask for help, and accept help when people offer it. You're not a one-person show, and don't wait till you're completely overwhelmed, exhausted, frustrated, and you're to the point where your health is failing when you could have asked for help a long time ago, and got the help that you needed to help alleviate so much stress that you're putting on your body, and its emotional tolls. And I just wanted, before I go, I wanted to also give you a couple of scenarios of how, when you don't take care of your body, how the stress can manifest in your body, how it can show up and affect your body systems. So, for instance, say if you're having abdominal cramps, ailments like those lead to meaning that there's fear, anger, and hurt. It's like you're allowing people to kick you in the gut. You're blaming yourself, you're blaming others, you're stuck in a limited way of thinking and not seeing any way out of your situation. So that's one of the ways that can manifest in your life with stress. Who would ever thought abdominal cramps can be the emotional part on what's going on with your situation externally and how that's manifesting on the inside of you. I'll give you one more example. So, for instance, I'm a trichologist, and so I help you to grow healthy hair and get to the root cause of your problem. So, for instance, if you are stressed out and you're starting to lose hair, maybe you're going bald. So if you have baldness, it says here that baldness means too much stress and fear of the future, difficulty trusting, trying to manipulate and control events, living on adrenaline and frustration, difficulty handling disappointments, and you want to rip out your hair with frustration. And so, you can get to that point where you feel like that because you're so angry, but you're not releasing that stress because you're not communicating, you're not exercising, you're not controlling your thoughts. And so that's how some of those things can manifest in your body. I know it seems, let's say minimum, but it's some things to think about as far as, taking care of your body and being a caregiver. So if you notice things are starting to happen in your body, you have to take a step back and analyze, okay, what has been going on in my life lately. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed these tips. Again, this was on self-care for the caregiver. Self-care for the caregiver. Again, my name is Precious Rutland. I am a trichologist for Hair Health Happiness. Please share this video. Somebody needs to hear it. It can definitely help them. If you love the information that you got today, I do invite you to click the link and get my 9 steps to restore your energy. You can sign up and that'll be delivered to your email inbox. All right, until next time, you guys take care and have a great day.